I could give you energy, cause see I'm still not bored. Anytime I had to go along, I thank my Lord. Whip it to the parking spot, Betty in the backseat, she asked me if the car's off. Honey, I'm like Will Chamberlain, wagging hundreds off. Niggas wanna fuck with me, they can't even drop my baggage off. Care with a passion, thank you for asking, I'm still so bashful. If you throwing shade, I'ma grab it by the handful. Price out my answers to see what I'm paying for. Niggas better put their hands together for the anthem. Yeah, what you needed is yearning this bitch. Cracking, I'm leaving a bomb on the ship. I'm deserting the shit, look who's working again. It was sad when I said it, I was hurt from the shit. I'm reserving a spot for myself in the window. Snapping on tracks, make a hit with some info.
What's going on, guys? Today we're on a very special mission to try and feed some bald eagles. So basically there's a local animal rescue place. I'm gonna put the name and information of them right here. And basically what happened is they currently have 5 bald eagles and they're waiting on a 6th. And these bald eagles have gotten lead poisoning from either eating a fish that had lead tackle in its stomach, or maybe eating like the leftovers of a deer that had some type of lead in it from being shot or something like that. And so these eagles are very sick and they need some food. So right now I'm going to be going and trying to catch some fish to feed to these bald eagles. I'm going to start off today trying to catch some trout because that's just like a luxurious meal for a bald eagle. I'm hoping today I could catch like 2 or 3 this morning right now, but I want to get a total of 5 so that way each eagle can get a good rainbow trout in. Then later on I'm gonna go cast net some sunfish, some bluegills and pumpkin seed and red ears and stuff like that. And then also I'm gonna ask a couple other people I know if they can catch me some fish to take out there. I might try and catch some bass for them, honestly, whatever. But so I'm gonna spend the next 2 or 3 days catching as many fish as possible and collecting as many fish as possible. We're gonna remove the stomachs from all of them so that way there's no lead or anything, power bait, anything else that's gonna harm these sick birds even more than they already are. And then Monday I'm gonna drive to the place and deliver the fish to the eagles. Hopefully I could go look at the eagles or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna try our best to get these eagles some good food. So let's get into it.
Hey, fire truck for sale if anyone's interested.
This right here is the fun part, walking through all this. Look, perfect path, just the perfect size for me to squeeze right on through. Look, you can't make much better of a path than this. You really can't. It's literally the perfect size for me. Boom, and we're through the first part. Now there's about 5 more of them that I gotta go through. Not too sure what kind of snake that is, but as long as he leaves me alone, I'm gonna leave him alone. But this is the spot. The water in here is moving pretty fast and it's pretty muddy and it's pretty high because there's been some thunderstorms lately, but I think it's still in good enough condition to pull a couple trout out. Snake is scared. Better stay scared and you better stay over there. So I don't feel like getting bit today. Now I'm just going to be going with a little pink power bait with a swivel and a slide weight. And it doesn't really matter if I have weights and stuff on this or if a fish swallows it, because I'm going to be removing their stomach anyways, so there's no lead in there. And I'm going to be casting like right over there to where the water's swirling up. So I think there's probably some trout sitting up under those rocks over there, just waiting for something to come floating by. And that snake that went up under that rock, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just a little rat snake. So yeah, completely harmless. So I was hoping for a rainbow trout, But instead, I just caught my first brown trout ever. And it's a pretty one too. Nice little brownie. Obviously stocked, not native. And they only need to be 7 inches to keep. And that's 7 inches right there. So, and boom. The trout is out of its misery. Throw them up there. Get back to fishing. All right, so that brings an end to fishing trip number 1 with only 1 brown trout. So that's not the best start, but one's better than nothing. And I only had like 15 minutes today that I was able to fish here. So then tomorrow I'm gonna go to a much better spot for some trout and hopefully catch more. Hopefully get some nice size rainbow trout. All right, y'all, it's currently day 2 of this project, and today we're going all out. Yesterday we ended with just 1 fish because I only had like 10 minutes. But today we got all day, so we're gonna be catching a bunch. Starting off at the same spot as yesterday, and again I only have 10 minutes at this spot right now, but we're gonna see if we can pull a trout in, and then after this I got some stuff to do. Then we're gonna go for some trout on a lake, then we're gonna go for some bass, and tonight we're gonna go get some bluegill, maybe some pike we're gonna try for, catfish we're gonna be trying for, and we're gonna hit a couple spots for trout. So wish me good luck. The spot we're trying today, as y'all can tell, a little bit faster moving, a little bit farther down from where we were. But I think all in that little slide there, there's gonna be some trout. All right, so about 10 minutes in, no action at that spot, on to the next. Come on, bro, what? This looks like a damn steelhead right here. Flopping around, bro. I'm about to put you out in a second. But look at that damn hook jaw and everything, dude. That is a beautiful trout. That is just a beautiful trout, man. And I know I'm handling him rough. I'm gonna make all the trout fishers mad, but he's getting killed anyway, so. Get a good look at that trout, man. That's actually super beautiful trout right there, man. And nothing better to feed a bald eagle than a damn, I think it's a cutthroat. I believe it's a cutthroat. It's an absolute beast, man. It's a big trout too. But now his blood is all over my arms. All right, y'all, we're now on the way to a little lake. It's more like a pond because it's a super tiny lake, but it's considered a lake somehow. But first we gotta stop at Walmart and grab some supplies. All right, so here today, as y'all can see, we got a little cooler here that's gonna double down as a rod holder. First rod, we got the St. Croix Trout Series Daiwa Fuego with the Go Mexis. Then we got a way better rod and reel here, the Ugly Stick Dock Runner with the Shakespeare reel. We're gonna be setting this one up with a little garlic scented night crawler, maybe get a bass or something like that swimming by, some bluegill, whatever. And boom, we're just gonna take the edge of the crawler, loop them right through here, loop them 2 and 3 times, and give him room where you can still move around. So let's get that casted out. Not too far off the bank, just want to find a little bass or bluegill or something like that that's out hunting today. Super simple rig there. It's just a slide weight up to a swivel, then about a foot of leader. All right, on the next rig, a little bit of a bigger slide weight to get it out farther. Barrel swivel coming down to, I forget what type of knot that is, to a snelled size 6 bait water hook. We're gonna be throwing on this corn scented flavored power bait. All right, gonna get this one casted out over here to the right. Looks good from here. And while they're out working their magic, I'm gonna be over here with the St. Croix Bass X Shimano Stratic, throwing around these rooster tails, throwing this around. That looks All right, so from what I'm seeing, there's more action on the top of the water column. So I'm gonna go with this little slip bobber, and we're gonna throw just a piece of a night crawler on there and toss it out. All right, so we got these two rods out with yellow power bait, pink sparkly power bait, and a bobber out there that just got hit. Caught ourselves a bass. All right, chill out, big guy. It's a decent one. Good enough to keep. All right, we got two rainbow trout on the bank. Basically what just happened was I had this bobber up over there, and while I was fishing over here, that fish right there took it. It swam up underneath that tree, and he was like wrapped around a branch. Boom, just like that, rainbow trout. Rainbow trout number 3 out of 5. All right, so fishing under a bridge like this is a little bit difficult, but not really. You just can't try and cast too crazy. Just leave that right there, that'll be good. And I'll come back over here, toss this out there. I think the trout more than likely grew disinterested in this worm, so I'm just gonna feed him a freebie. And then I'm gonna go with this right here. So now I've got a bottom rig with a slide weight with this little corn power bait, and I'm gonna throw it down to that side to try and keep them confused, thrown off their game a little bit. Boom, there's rainbow trout number 4 out of 5. All right, 4 down, 1 to go. A little bit of time left on the shot clock here. Can the corn power bait come in clutch for the final kill? Kick back, relax. There we go. Now we just watch. Little nibble there. There's number 5. What a day, man. What a day. Chill out, big man. Bet that guy over there will catch a fish before me today. For now, I'm about to go home and wash this trout off my hands, get these fish into the freezer, and then we're gonna go get on some bass. All right, y'all. I don't like to get too personal or too emotional on this channel at all, but this video is really special to me and it really means a lot to me, and I want to explain to you guys why. So at the beginning of this year, I believe in like January or February, around that time, I lost my pap. He was really sick. He passed away in the hospital, and I spent basically the last week of his life in the hospital with him, sitting next to his bed. And on the day that he passed away, one of the final things that I said to him was, I promised him that I was gonna catch a lot of fish this year, and I was gonna catch some big fish this year. And I've upheld that promise. Like, at least in my standards, I've gone above and beyond what I thought I was capable of when it came to fishing. I've gotten so much better. And I used to show, like, he wasn't into fishing or anything, he never fished, but anytime I'd go and meet him for breakfast, I'd just show him the pictures of the fish I caught, and he'd go and brag about them to everybody in our family. Then, you know, like, I'd see my grandma, I'd see my aunts, stuff like that, and They be telling me all the stories my pap told me about all the fish that I showed him, and I think he'd be extremely proud of what I've accomplished this year between my YouTube and between the stuff I've done fishing. I caught my first pike. I've caught a ton of pike, which was like one of my dream fish to catch. I've caught my personal best bass. Finally got a bass over 5 pounds. That was another one of my dream fish to catch. Like a year ago today, I was catching absolutely nothing. I was going fishing every single day, all day, catching 0 fish. So if I would go back a year ago and show myself this cooler that I have now, full of fish, I would never, ever believe that I was the one that caught them. And I think a lot of that is my pap watching over me, maybe, you know, guiding a few fish over this way or a few fish over that way, getting them interested in my lures, convincing them to bite a little bit. But another part of the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because my pap served in the Army, and that's one of the things that I'm most proud of him about. One of the things that makes me look up to him the most and hold him up to the high standard of who I believe, and hold him up to the high standard of the type of man that he is and the type of man that I want to be. And as many of you know, a representation of America has always been the bald eagle. And after he passed away, I have seen countless bald eagles. Like 4 out of 5 of my most favorite fishing spots, I've seen bald eagles this year. And it always comes at like a time when I'm down or I don't want to keep going, and I see a bald eagle. I saw a bald eagle the first day I caught a pike, my first pike I ever caught. I saw a bald eagle the day I caught my personal best carp. And the tree that I caught my personal best bass out of, the tree that I caught my biggest bass out of, was a tree that a bald eagle was roosting in over this winter. And so I always feel like whenever I see bald eagles, it's kind of like he's sending me a reminder that he's watching over me, and it kind of like reminds me to keep going, to keep fishing, not to give up. And yeah, so whenever I heard there's bald eagles and that they need some fish, I just feel like I'm the perfect man for the job, you know? And I feel like through doing this, it's kind of almost like I'm giving back to my pap in a way, because he keeps putting these beautiful birds to fly over me and watch over me while I'm fishing. He keeps putting all these fish onto my hooks, so it's only right I give some of my fish to these bald eagles. So that's why this video is so important. It means so much to me, and why I'm trying so hard to catch my limit of a bunch of different types of fish to take out and feed them. So yeah, today's been a good day so far. We've now have a brook trout. I called it a cutthroat yesterday or today, this morning. My bad, it's not a cutthroat, it is a brook trout. Also, I got a brown trout, I've got 5 rainbow trout, and I have a bass. The goal is tonight we're gonna catch 6 more bass, see if my little brother will come with me, then we can make it 12 bass. Then even later on after that, I'm gonna try and go cast net some sunfish. I'm gonna try and catch some pike or catfish, something like that. And yeah, we'll just see where it takes us. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for sitting around for my sob story. And yeah, let's get back into the good part, fishing.
See you.
All right, y'all, we're out here today. We just finished catching the trout. Now we're gonna get on some bass. I'm already soaking wet because I had to wade the whole way out around that tree since this guy wanted to get tangled up. But yeah, that's a good bass right there. So that last one I caught on a night crawler. I'm gonna throw this little lizard around for fun for now. Another day down, another batch of trout. So we finished the day with only 1 bass, but I also caught 4 bluegill though, so that works. Now we're taking a look at the grand haul. We got here 1 brook trout, Got here a bass. Here 5 rainbow trout. 4 more rainbow trout. A big brook trout. 4 more rainbow trout. A bass. And then 4 panfish, sunfish, bluegill, whatever.
Alright, y'all, I think I'm here.
I'm gonna ask if they'll let me see the eagles, but I doubt it because they probably don't want them stressed out from people being around them too much. Check on them. Oh no, I think they might be dead. All right, y'all, I didn't even ask to see them because low-key I went through a restricted area. I just drove right through it, so I wasn't really supposed to even be where I was at, where I walked into. I went the wrong way, so oops, my bad. But they did take the fish, so W. Yeah, now I'm going home. Actually, I'm not even going home. I'm about to go fly fishing now for the first time ever. So if y'all want to watch a super exciting adventure of me learning how to even use a fly fishing rod, then stay tuned for my next video. Oh shit, y'all, look. The bald eagle's right there.